Okay, so my video for this week was gonna be me talking about how I cut my hair and dyed it and everything. And then I watched back all of the clips and there's nothing. There's nothing really there. So I'm gonna talk about books and my favorite books for in the past couple of years. And like books I've fallen in love with. I really should tie my hair back up. I cut it off, by the way. It was down to like here, and I was like, you know what, I want to change. Okay, I want to go back to what I usually get. And I also dyed it. I'll pull out the books. Hold on. So, one of the books I will always highly recommend to anyone to read is Romeo and Juliet. Yes, it's a book that a lot of people have to read in high school. I had to read it freshman year, and I'm rereading it again because I'm working with somebody and I need to read this. On top of that, I always recommend also people should read Shakespeare's sonnets. If you're someone who likes Shakespeare, I would recommend reading his sonnets because they're little like 10 sentence at most bits on Shakespeare. Another book I love with all my heart is Simon vs. the Homo Sapien Agenda. I read this book and I had a lot of feelings and emotions after reading this book. It is a very beautifully written book. I think it's a book that everyone should read. It's one of those books that, like, this will change your view on people. It will change your view on teenagers and teenage life. It will change your view on gay kids and gay kids' life and how we still need things like pride and such. It's a very incredible book. I said I was gonna pull out books, and then I didn't. Check please. I love this book. I love this series. If you watched my last video, I talked a lot about this book. I talked a bit about the author and how much I love this series. It's a webcomic that got turned into a physical book, and I met the incredible author. That was in my last video. I talked about that, and you saw me meet her. But this book is a coming-of-age story for Biddy himself, and it's a coming-of-age, and it's a coming-out story, too. Biddy finally comes out to people for the first time in his life, and it's just, Biddy is changing and growing and such. This is a dress, not a book. Another book, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. This is another book that I think everyone should read. There's so many books here that I think everyone should read, but this is one of those that, like, this will change your view on people. Again, it's a book you have to read in middle school or high school. I'm rereading it right now for the same reason why I'm rereading Romeo and Juliet. This book changes how you view people. It's a book that's supposed to make you uncomfortable. It's a book that's supposed to make you think. It's a book that changes your opinion on people, and it's a good book, and I really highly recommend everyone should read this. Even if it was banned in your middle school or banned in your high school, read this book. Dodie Clark's Secrets for the Mad. Dodie is an incredible musician. She's also an incredible writer, and reading this book, you could really tell Dodie put a lot of feelings and emotions into this. This book is incredible. I love Dodie's music, and I fell in love with her writing through her music, but on top of that, in this story, she talks about grief and sex and struggle and mental health issues and being sad and coping with sadness through writing and music, and it's an incredible book, and just everyone should go read it. It's so fucking good. It's incredible. Another book. Where is the best book? Here it is. Aristotle and Dante discover the secrets of the universe. I can make an entire video on how much I love this book. This book deserves every award it has on here and more. All of the awards it's won, it deserves. It deserves the highest of praises. Aristotle and Dante is a book that makes you question everything. And I'm not trying to insinuate or make people who don't like this book think that this book is just like it, but I feel like it's kind of mildly like a queer Fault in Our Stars in the best way possible. Like, it has the same, I don't want to say themes, it's like it's the same story. No, they're remotely two completely different stories. Hazel's a white girl in the middle of a proper part of America. Angel Same as Angel. Angel and Ari. Angel, not Angel. Stop calling him Angel. His name is Ari in the book. Ari is a Mexican teenager who lives in Texas, in El Paso. They're two completely different characters, but they both have similar thought processes of like, why do we do things? Why do we get up in the mornings? Why do we laugh? Like, the opening little bit that Benjamin wrote, which is right before the book, is why do we smile? Why do we laugh? Why do we feel alone? Why are we sad and confused? Why do we read poetry? Why do we cry when we see painting? Why are there riots in our hearts? In the hearts when we love? Why do we feel shame? What is the thing in the pit of your stomach called desire? It asks questions that in this book are answered. It's an incredible book. I highly recommend it. Almost everything here is young adults, technically, but it shouldn't be limited to young adults. There's so much in here and so much more that I haven't read. Oh, and I'm also going to recommend a book series that everyone has probably been recommended before. Harry Potter. I reread the entire Harry Potter series recently. And let me tell you, shit's good. Like, it's an incredibly good book series. J.K. Rowling should just have stopped there. It's an incredibly good book series. The play is great. I've seen the play before. It's an incredible story. I've said this before. If it did not have the expectations of Harry Potter looming behind it, it would have been an incredible stage play. No one would have shit on it. It's a great show. Highly recommend. Everyone should go see it. Book might be shit, but you all should go see it. Yeah, what else can I recommend? Oh, Good Morning, Good Night by Lin-Manuel Miranda is an incredible book. I Wrote This For You is also an incredible book. I read that. It's a book of poems, and it's something that, like, I like it because it feels like it is made for you, and at the same time, not at all. That sounds really terrible. Fault in Our Stars is an incredible book. I don't like that people shit on it. It's an incredible book. It changed my perspective on so much when I was reading it for the first time. It still changes my perspective. I've read that book so many times. I have pages of it memorized. But I digress. So many books, so many incredible books, but like, I will always recommend books to read. If you ever need books, hit me down in the comments. I'll always recommend some. I have so many books that I've bought that I'm like, I'm gonna read this book because it's a novel that's very important, and I just don't touch it, and I reread Harry Potter. I have Fahrenheit 451, The Hate You Give, Karamo's book, technically Good Morning, Good Night. I haven't read it through fully. I have John Green's new book, Hank Green's book. I have 2 of John Green's books, actually, that I haven't read. I have so many books, and I reread this and this and these. But no, yeah. Also, if you don't know, I'm a Harry Potter fan. There it is. Thank you guys so much but I digress. Books are great. I'm gonna shit. Books are great. Books are incredible. Everyone should read. Everyone should read, even if it's a little tiny comic that you can read in an hour, like I can, or it's a 300 something page novel, like this is. How many pages is this? How many pages is this exactly? 359. If it's a 359 page novel, or a okay, Dodie, thanks for numbering pages. 248 page poem book, technically. Poems and short stories book. Or it's a 300 something page book that makes you rethink the world. Or it's another 300 something page book to make you rethink the world. It's a 304 page book to make you rethink the world. How many pages is it exactly? 303. These books are all important. I've fallen in love with them over time, and through reading them, and like, yeah, it's cliche for me to recommend like basic, out there, everyone knows and has read books. At the same time, there's a reason why they're out there. There's a reason why this book has been turned into a movie. There's a reason why this book is in schools and kids have to read it. There's a reason why we read about a dead writer who lived 400 years ago. There's a reason why we read these books. It's to think and it's to grow, and I love books and I love reading them, and these books will live on forever in my heart. Also, a quick side note, I also have the Try Guys book over there. Jen Phil's book is in there. I've read it more than once. And The Martian. Guess what I'm not doing? Reading any of those books right now, because I have legitimate reason to reread these right now, and I need a reason to buy a book. I need a reason to buy this specific book. I didn't need one. I didn't have one before, but I had reason to. Also, little fun fact, my Goodreads, I set my goal for 15 books. I'm at 10 right now because I reread this one. That's not okay. I have 3 books in my Goodreads right now to read. And it's Romeo and Juliet, To Kill a Mockingbird, and The Martian. So hopefully I'll reread those and finish them, the 2, and then read the 1. But right now, I don't want to start The Martian because shit has been messed up in my schedule. And if I'm not taking that class, then what's the fucking point of me rereading? I would have to read a completely different book. But I digress. Read books. Have fun. Good luck. Bye, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and all that good stuff. Ring that bell. I haven't said that. Ring the bell. And also, read books. Read this specific book. It's about gay boy. A lot of my book recommendations are also queer. 4 of the books I recommended to you guys are of queer authors or queer storylines. Almost all of them. This is written by a queer author, but all of the books down here are, these 2 are queer stories without queer authors, and this is a queer story with a queer author. But yeah, go support books, kiddos. Read. Bye. Sorry.